Hello, sweet ones, and welcome to this week's episode of Embodied Divinity. I'm so incredibly grateful that you chose to press play today. This episode might be one of the most tender ones I've ever recorded, and if you're here, I trust your heart needs it too. Let's start with taking a big, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. We've been going through some times with the finishing up of the eclipse portal, tons of solar flares, but also just like we're in this whole new season of humanity with beautiful revolutions taking place. I'm honestly so proud of so many of the humans that are stepping forward to use their voice, to sink into who they are, to really let it be known. But there's also this collective unsettled energy of we've let go of the old, but we're not quite in the new, and we're becoming more familiar with the void. But this is a deeper sense of integration, one that's really asking for more of us, more trust, more presence, more knowing. And so while my share today is obviously going to be very personal to me as far as the circumstances, the underlying message is the same for anyone who's going through any sort of unfolding or transition or feelings of loss of perceived control. So, this episode is for a lot of you. It's for the ones who have loved so deeply, so fiercely, that it cracked something open for them. It's for the ones who are walking through seasons where surrender is no longer just a spiritual concept, but a cellular experience. And it's for the ones who know the ache of loving something they cannot control. And today I'm going to share with you the ache that opened me. And maybe you've had something that's opened you recently too. So I'll preface it with my story, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of what actually happened on a spiritual and energetic level. So this past weekend, my daughter went on her first camping trip, and me and my kids, I'm an only parent, so me and my kids are really close. We never don't talk to each other. We're very involved in each other's lives, and even though we do our own thing, we still have a really beautiful connection, checking in, chatting with each other, whatever. So this past weekend, my daughter had no service, so there were no updates, just gone into the woods, and something really hit me differently with this trip. So, I had the normal mommy aches of just her being gone, but as I was laying in bed, intrusive thoughts started coming up for me, which hasn't happened in a long time. And I started going over everything that I told her, all the safety things, all the everything. And there was just one little tiny thing that creeped into my mind. And it was about like the space heater, carbon monoxide poisoning, not ventilating the tent. That part doesn't really matter. What matters is it felt so real to my body. I had deep anxiety. My nervous system flared with fear that something might happen to her and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to stop it. I wouldn't be able to protect her. And this fear wasn't logical. It didn't come with data or evidence. It came with emotion and it came with ache. And I realized just sitting with it, this is how deep love really runs when you've become the safe place for someone, and how terrifying it is when you can't be that safety in a tangible way. And I just sat with myself. I had this really beautiful way to observe. So I knew that I was the observer. I witnessed the emotions. I sat with myself. I rocked myself. I let myself cry and breathe. And the whole time I was surrendering. And so there was this really beautiful dichotomy between the physical emotions that were triggered within my nervous system, the parts of me that still wanted control, and then this awareness of how held I was. I could feel the difference between my nervous system, which was causing panic and ache, physical ache, and my spirit, who is calm and warm. And it didn't matter that my spirit, like I knew in my spirit, I knew in my God body that she was totally fine, because I have trained myself to recognize this warmth, this knowing. Spirit never causes pain or anxiety when something's happening. That's always our ego. It's like this gentle nudge of, no, don't go this way, or you're on the right path, or, and it's this really warm, steady, supportive feeling. That's spirit and intuition. But our ego and nervous system often cause us pain and ache and anxiety. And so I'm aware of this difference, but I know my nervous system needs to just feel it. And so I'm going back and forth between somatic exercises and then sinking back into that ethereal knowing, and somatic exercises and sinking back into that ethereal knowing. And it was just such a deep process for me of trusting life, of trusting that it was all okay. And of course, the next day, like 18 hours later, she climbed up to the top of a mountain and had a spot of service and called me really quick and just said, I'm having so much fun, I'm safe. And I was happy, and I got off the phone with her, and there was just a flood of emotion and release in my nervous system. And I just kept confirming over and over for myself to trust my spirit, that I trust my spirit, that I had the warmth, and that it was okay for my nervous system to follow that lead of spirit. And that's the really key message I felt collectively right now is there is so much unknown in the world, so much that we are aching to have, to experience, so much destruction and pain, so much unfolding, so much newness in so many ways. There's been a really deep call for so many for just clear, genuine, human authenticity. No more sugarcoating our human experience, but simply sharing the realness and the rawness of it. And that's felt really scary for so many people I've talked to. But without the observation of the nervous system and our knowing, without the integration between the two, we don't move forward with as much grace and ease as we could. We create a lot of suffering. What we often forget, especially in spiritual spaces, is that surrender isn't just a mindset, it's literally a nervous system recalibration. Your body doesn't let go because you say a cute affirmation. It lets go when it feels safe. And so in my story, I'm doing the work with my nervous system because I have this knowing already that she's safe. My body is not responding as if she did. So I'm doing the somatic exercises. I'm shaking, I'm crying, I'm moving my body, I'm grounding, I'm doing different yoga poses, all while knowing and tapping into that knowing that she is safe. I'm talking my ego through it. I'm saying, I know that it's so hard to not speak to her and to not know that she's okay on this human level, but can we trust this deeper knowing? Right? And the full release came when I got the confirmation. And next time that we're apart for this long, it'll be easier because my muscle has grown. And this is the deeper work of holding ourselves through that void, through that unknown. Sometimes the very thing that floods us with fear is the same doorway into safety. My intrusive thoughts weren't evidence that I wasn't healed, they were evidence that I was feeling. They were echoes of past trauma, ancient lineages of mothers who couldn't protect, really surfacing through my bones. I didn't need to banish them. I needed to be with them, to witness them, to say, I see you, I hear your panic, and I won't abandon you. That moment when I breathed through the fear without trying to fix it, that was my highest self. So if you're in a season right now where you feel emotionally raw, where you're anxious for no reason, where you're trying to stay open but it feels hard, where you're grieving things that haven't even happened yet, I want you to know that you're not broken. You're on the edge of becoming. This season that we're in right now, this energetic moment, it's not just chaos, it's a divine initiation into trust, into tenderness, into learning to let life hold you. We're all being asked to stop pretending we're in control and to start practicing what it means to trust, even when it doesn't feel good, even when we ache. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I'm going to put these questions under wherever you're listening to this, but let's just let them sink in right now. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control right now? Where am I holding onto out of fear and not love? Where am I holding on out of fear and not love? What would it feel like to trust that people I love are on their path? What would it look like to be with myself in the ache instead of rushing to heal it? And as with all of our weekly themes, this one being really knowing you're held and you can sink into trust and you can open to that ache and you can open to that nervous system recalibration. On Wednesday, there will be a really short guided activation that will help you harness this. And on Friday, a long 8-hour subliminal sleep meditation that will help you recalibrate your mind as you sleep. And always on Substack, I have really amazing notes and articles that help us through each week's theme that are from my own personal journey of exercises and tools that will help us. And I do all of this, I provide this space because we really are in this together. While you may not have had 3 days away from your daughter and felt that ache of needing confirmation of safety and moving through that recalibration, it's showing up for you in a different way. We're all collectively learning how to live from that knowing and how to allow our bodies to take the lead from our spirit. I want you to know that you are not weak for feeling this much. You are not unspiritual because you still get afraid. You are a soul having a human experience, and some days that experience is messy and full of ache. But still you're here. Still you breathe. Still you're opening. So today, let it be enough. Let that ache shape you. Let the fear speak. And then choose love anyway. Because you, my love, are safe to surrender, even here, even now. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you for trusting me with your heart. Breathe deep, trust the unseen, and let life hold you. I love you. Namaste.